Hello. It says I'm live. I hope it's true. I'm having a weird hair day. That's okay. I'm getting my hair cut on Thursday. It's like so overgrown. We can see like the layers grow out. So that's where we're at. Who's here? Maria. Hello. There we go. And Supper is here as well. How's everybody doing overseas? Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you have not already. And we'll give everybody a minute or two to hop in and get comfy. And I have some stuff to talk about. I actually have two topics today on my mind. So we'll chitty chat about them. One is kind of wild. One I did not have on my 2025 bingo card, but here we are. We're gonna talk about it because it is pretty fresh, and it's a weird story. But we're gonna get into it in a little bit. So I've got all my little bits and pieces here. I don't know if we're gonna do a sprint today or not. I'm only here for 90 minutes because I've got a meeting in a few hours, and I want to put a break in between because I've been online all day. Just had a meeting at lunchtime. Then we had our Celestine Prophecy Zoom call that just finished 30 minutes ago. And now here we are. So I'm kind of in my chair sitting for a long time today. And then I have to go to the Legion for a meeting. Good times. I don't know. I enjoy the work, like as the chaplain for the Legion. I enjoy it. I like doing the services and everything else. But, when you just don't fit in with a group of people, that's kind of where I'm at, where I just don't quite belong with this group of people. And so I don't know. I do not know. I think I might just kind of get to the point where I just tell them I'll be here for the services and that's it. We'll see. So let me just check. I just want to make sure that my channel is doing the thing live. Okay, good. It says we're live there. Okay. Okay, perfect. And my little bot guys should be oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to return to that. Hi, Dilly. How are you? Listen, Sweetie Pie, I have sent you 2 emails. You need to answer them, or at least answer the most recent one, because I've reached out to you a couple times. So yeah, how's your new car? How's that working out for you? Because I remember you had some feelings. You had some stress about it. Yeah. Don't know how I fit it all in. I just stack my day and just kind of I try to do as much as I can on one day online, and then my other days I spend with clients and creating content and things like that. So hi Anyo. Hello. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it just is in my email. I just sent you 2 emails. That's it. I didn't send anything on any other app, just emails. Things terrestrial. What is this? Who dis? The medicine dropper, please. Thank you. Okay. And then who's this? What? What is going on here? What is this? Who is this person? Hold on. I need to go and see who this is. Let's see. Live. There we go. Who are you? Where are they? Go to channel. This is kind of fun. 31 subscribers. Been around for 16 years. Good for you. Tarot Destroyer. Oh, well, interesting. Interesting. There we go. Listen, all engagement's good engagement, right? Hi, Nikki. Hi, Red Pill Art. How are you? How are you from Montreal? Salut. Yes, Halloween is over. Yeah, I'm like, what in the heckin' is going on here? Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, and my little bot's working today. I wish I could change his picture and give him a name. I wish I had that. I'll have to see. It's cold in Montreal. Yeah. I think you're like a little bit further north than me. Montreal's about, I think, 4 hours northeast of me, I believe. Or we could look at the map and see. And the bus strike is still on. Oh, but you said it's going to be a month. It's like scheduled for a month. This is what I find weird is strikes are usually till somebody comes to an agreement. But in this case, Nikki was telling us last week that in Montreal, they've got a bus strike, which is causing issues because if you live in a place where you depend on transit, it's hard to get around. And Nikki was already talking about places she might not be able to go to. So yeah, that's kind of poopy. Hello, Jim. How are you? I have not picked up the hedgehog. Not yet, but I am planning on doing that next week. So there we go. Got so many other things on the go right now. Yeah, it'll be for 1 month. And it's strikes at this point in our history. It's like, oh, come on. Come on. We met. Oh yeah. Oh, Anyo and Red Pill Art. You were both with me last week on a whole separate session. And that was the first time I've actually talked to Nikki like face to face. So that was really nice. She's got big, beautiful energy, like just yeah. And it's weird because I was like, you don't feel Canadian to me. But maybe it's because you're in Quebec. Maybe Quebecois has that bigger energy, but I find Canadians tend to be kind of flat. So where we're at, I have all of my poppies all packaged up and ready to go. I made 14 of them. So I've got my basket here with poppies for Remembrance Day to give out to veterans and people who help with the service on Remembrance Day. So that was lots of fun to get those all made. And if anybody would like to make them for your own purposes to give out, or if you would like to donate them to your Legion or anything like that, just let me know and I will send you the pattern. It's a pretty simple, easy pattern. I could whip them up like a few of them a day. It was no big deal. So yeah. So we have that. There we go. Yeah. How has everybody's week been? Here we are. Yeah. How's everybody's week? I've had a weird week. I'm so tired. I don't know if it's because thank you, Dilly. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. If you knit, let me know and we'll get the pattern to you. Just tired, and I think like our clocks changed at the weekend, so that has left everybody just kind of like takes about a week to kind of get used to it, and it's dark at like 5 o'clock, so that's fun. I'm like 5:30 is time for bed. Oopsie. Supper, are we gonna have a Christmas? What the hell is that song? I hope we do. I really hope we do. Oh, nice. I saw that Supper was doing some brewing, which is kind of fun. A little off this week. Yeah. Like, did you like the time change? I don't know. And I think like, we got the budget dropping today in Canada and that's going to be voted on. I think Canadians are just kind of exhausted. No, you don't knit. Well, I love to knit, so maybe I'll send you something that I've knit. Sapper, nothing confirmed yet. Lots to think about. Yeah. Well, we've got time. Got a month and a half to think about it and then get on with it, Sapper. Lots to think about. So speaking of knitting, um, I went to a play at the weekend, and it was a really neat play. My husband actually found the ad for it, and it's called Spycraft. And there's the program for it. I don't know if we can see it. There, that's better. Just don't want to put locations in there. So it was a really neat story about, and so basically, how does a middle-aged widow foil the Nazis in occupied France by knitting in code? That sounds kind of interesting, right? And so when I got home and I read the program, because they give you the program and then they put you in the dark, so you can't necessarily see what it can knit, but you don't like it. Yeah, there's things I can do I don't like doing, so I just don't. But I'm a knitter. I'm a born knitter. So there was a note from the playwrights here, and it said, Spycraft came out of the research we did into the history of knitting for another show. We learned that women used knitting during times of conflict either as cover so that they could eavesdrop on the enemy unnoticed, or as a medium for cryptography. And now I've talked about this before, that knitting was very political. It was used by spies. It was used during the wars, and probably still is in some places. And this was used to share coded intelligence. Further research uncovered the fact that many women worked for Allied spy agencies as code girls or operatives, women like Phyllis Latour Doyle, Virginia Hall, and Noor Khan. Those women knew how to keep secrets, and their contributions to the war effort have only recently been discovered by the wider public. Even though we could find no actual artifacts of coded knitting in the historical record, we felt the idea was too good to pass up. Our fictitious heroine, Audette, is a composite of the skills, perseverance, and courage of a long list of female agents who had a very significant and mostly unrecognized impact on the outcome of the Second World War. And I thought that was kind of neat. So I wanted to know more. Hi, Ding Dong. How are you? And so I did a little bit of research because I wanted to know about this. I knew that codes were being knit. And in the show, in the play, she knits in Morse code. And she does actually say, you might drop a stitch or something to leave a hole. And I was, as a knitter, offended, because I was like, no, if you want to leave a hole, do a yarn over. Don't drop a stitch, because the whole thing will unravel. And it was quite clever how they came up with how she would give the messages to people. So they sent her to France, to occupied France, with another operative, and he pretends to be a monk and in a Catholic church. And she's pretending that she's taking care of her aunt, but she knits. And one of the things that she was doing was making socks. And that was how she got her stuff out there, is she would knit socks, donate them to the operative monk in the church, and then he would give them to the next operative, who would wear the socks and go out on their mission. And because they, the whole thing was, what if an operative is being searched and they find the codes in the socks? And the thing is that they're not going to search your socks because you're wearing them. You're wearing the code. So that I thought was very, very interesting. Who we have here? We've got Dilly's got a friend in South America. Nice. Very nice. Though Jim had to stop. He kept dropping. What was that? What did Jim say? Jim's always here with his little jokes, and there we go. Okay. And so I had to look into it. And during World War I, Belgian women were known to sit near train stations or windows knitting as the troops went by, and they were encoding the movements, the troop movements, into their stitches. And so how they would do the Morse code was knitting, but then the purl stitches would be the code. So, 3 dashes, 3 dots, things like that. And so that the pattern, they were always like, oh, we just make up the pattern, but really they're knitting Morse code basically. And spies were using knitting as a way to pass messages. And because of what threat could a grandmother with a knitting basket possibly pose? So there we go. Like even in fiction, we've seen Madame Defarge in A Tale of Two Cities, and she knitted the names of her enemies into her work, into the shrouds. And Bletchley Circle, the TV show, the women worked as code breakers during World War II, were shown knitting as they discuss and solve problems. And Agatha Christie's Miss Marple stories, it's a metaphor for observation, patience, and unraveling the truth. And so I did find some information about Phyllis Latour Doyle. She was a British spy for the Special Operations Executive during World War II, and she parachuted into Nazi-occupied France at just 23 years old, posing as a teenage refugee, and encoded messages using knitting patterns to communicate with British intelligence. Imagine the courage it took to sit there pretending to knit while literally weaving secret messages that could change the course of the war. And there were also resistance networks across Europe, Belgium, France, and Netherlands. And women would use knitting to pass coded information. And of course, the Morse code system. So it was, knitting has always been known as a quiet defiance. It's about patience, about using your hands and your creativity. And then to be able to use those skills to fight for freedom is a pretty interesting thing. So sometimes the most ordinary things can have extraordinary powers. So yeah, it's knitting's been a very subversive thing for a long time. So yeah, I thought I would share that because I just thought it was so interesting as a knitter myself. And I was knitting through the show. When I walked in, I was knitting because I would take my knitting with me everywhere. And I was knitting and they were like, yeah, please knit through the show. I said, listen, if you need me to just sit on the stage and knit for 2 hours, let me know. I got you. I got you. Sapper's saying that his grandmother and great grandmother were skilled lace makers. So tatting, which is a very interesting skill. I've actually seen people do it with the little, I don't know what they call them, the little bobbins for that they twist and tie. Oh yeah, it's really, really interesting with all the pins and everything. Yeah, well, what went on in the resistance? I've never heard of the knit. Yeah, well, I had heard of it, but I really just didn't know that much about it. But because I knit all the time, I've sat in council chambers for a council meeting that we knew was going to get spicy, and I'm sitting there knitting, and everybody's like, Madame Defarge, I presume. And I'm like, that's right. That is right. And handkerchiefs were maps. They were like silk, which is why you see those leather jackets, the bomber jackets, that with the map is like the lining inside the jackets. And you can still buy these things and have them put into clothing now as lining of blazers and things like that. If you can find an old silk map or a handkerchief map, it's a kind of a neat thing. They probably cost a fortune now at this point, I'm sure. It's interesting, is this true? So this was a play. I was talking about a play I went to see, which sort of prompted the whole journey into the rabbit hole. And then so I did talk about some like Madame Defarge, Bletchley Circle, and Miss Marple, that's right, were fictional knitters. There's fictional knitting, but sorry, I put my notes on the floor. Her name is Phyllis Latour Doyle. She was a real spy in the Special Operations Executive Spy School, basically. And she did parachute into occupied France and knit coded messages into socks to distribute to her other operatives and intelligence. So yeah, Okay, bye, Dilly. Have a great day. Well, I guess it's evening for you, so have a great evening. There we go. So that was my little knitting story from the weekend and it was funny because when I was sitting there knitting, people were saying to me, because we went up to the little snack bar area to have a coffee at the intermission, and people were saying, how frustrating is it as a knitter to watch people not know how to knit? It was like, actually hearing them talk about knitting is way more frustrating. So yeah, and they even had a team, like, look at this, all these people knitting, and they put the biographies of the people who knit for the show, because they had scarves and hats, and they had socks, like they had a big laundry line of socks all that had all been coded and brought back. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. So yeah, let me know what you've all been up to. I know it feels like a weird, really, really weird week. I don't know. It feels something's up. Oh, Mercury retrograde. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is just the weirdness before we get Mercury retrograde. That could be it. So yeah. Couple things coming up here for us. I'm gonna have a little bit of a slower month this year. I'm gonna sit down tomorrow and create some content, get some videos filmed. I do have memberships available. Once I get to 10 members, I'm gonna start doing some members only stuff where we're gonna do some deep dives and perhaps clear up some things. So yeah. Nikki's saying that it felt it last week. Definitely. It's been a weird week. It's been a very strange, I don't know. Everything just feels a little bit off, a little bit weird. My Halloween was uneventful. Usually it's like the biggest day of my life. I've got the decor and the table. I think I even shared some pictures or videos in my community part about like my past table settings. I did nothing. I just couldn't get into it. I think this whole situation with my father-in-law it's getting bad fast. Like, he's devolving really fast. The dementia is it's running the show, that's for sure. And it just feels, yeah, like my husband is so consumed by it and gone all the time that I just felt like we didn't do Thanksgiving, we didn't really do Halloween. So yeah. So let's think about Christmas. Let's think about Christmas. I do have coming up, the planets are going backwards. Yeah, it's the retrograde. And yeah, 2026 is a 1 year. So this is a 9 year. 9 years are about endings, completion, tying up loose ends, all of that stuff. So probably in the next couple of months, people are going to really feel a lot of things falling away, a lot of people exiting. You may choose to exit your life, not exit your life, like don't unalive yourself, but you may choose to burn it to the ground and start fresh with something. That was really, really, really big energy at the last full moon, was this scorched earth kind of thing. So yeah, 2026 is a 1 year, fresh starts, new beginnings, big energy. Whew. Looking forward to it, because I don't know, the last few years have been yeah, not great. Christmas tree's going up tomorrow. Fun. That's exciting. I want to see your tree when it's up and ready to go. I'll probably in 3 weeks, maybe I'll put mine up towards the end of November. I still have my autumn decor up, so I like to have a clean slate before I switch seasons. So I'll take it down this week, pack it all up, get it put away. I just haven't had time this weekend, and then have nothing for a few weeks, and then put up my tree and see if we can get into it. I don't know. It's going to be a very different Christmas. I'm already kind of, I don't know. Anyway, but let's talk about Yule instead, because Yule's way more fun than Christmas will ever be. I do have a Yule call planned. I'm going to launch it probably next week, and it will be on Zoom. it will be a paid thing. And the people on my VIP list, my mailing list, will get the information and opportunity to sign up first. There will probably be multiple pricing levels. I got to sit and figure out what direction I want to take that. So here is the link here to get on my mailing list. So if you just sign up, just pop your name and email in. That way, when I do launch this, you will get the email first. And this is a beautiful evening. We do cards, we do a visualization, we have different topics that we discuss. We have an opening ceremony. There's all kinds of elements. There'll be gifts. There will be a bunch of different things going on in it. And every year that I've run this, it's always such a beautiful, beautiful thing that we just gather and just embrace the energy of Yule, which is our winter solstice. That's the day that we welcome the light. It's the longest day. I don't know if we're going to do it right on solstice, but it is the longest day. And sort of going forward from there, the light returns. So it's a really great moment to honor. So if you want to get on my mailing list so that you get that information first, and you will get the best price if you're on my mailing list, because probably it will go out publicly, maybe about a week after that, and then the price will likely have gone up. So you want to jump in first. Jump in. The budget, the Canadian. Oh, what? CBC said they haven't confirmed, but a conservative is crossing the floor. Traitor. So in Canada, we're having a budget table today for after, I don't know how long. It should have been tabled 6 months ago. And there's all this like craziness and people talking about what's going to happen. Are we getting an election? Yada, yada, yada. So it is bonkers. Everybody say hi to Lola. She dips in and out. And we'll get some links up as well. Actually, who can I make a mod for the moment? Who can I make a mod? Who wants to be a mod? Okay, Maria, are you here, Maria? Will you just mod for me for a few minutes and throw some links up for me, please? We're just gonna... Okay, Sapper's gonna... I don't know how to do this. Add as a moderator. Okay. Okay, I'm just... Okay. What do I do? Managing or standard moderator? Oh, okay. We'll just make you a standard. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Sapper. And if you wouldn't mind just putting Lola's link, Maria's link. Nikki, do you got your channel going yet or no? I don't know who's here. Anyone that we know definitely has a link, has a channel. Let's get them. Let's get them. Oh, you're leaving? You're going to go? Okay. Well, Sapper's going to drop some links for us. Thank you so much. And that way I don't have to chase all the links around. So yeah, that is, so yeah, we're in the middle of this budget situation. Tell you what, this is, and I'm very alarmed as CPC is crossing the floor. I wonder what that, like, here's the thing. So I did ask, Jamil earlier this year, Jamil Giovanni, how that works. Like, what if a liberal crossed the floor and wanted to be a conservative? And he said no, because all of the ridings have a conservative candidate chosen and ready to go. That was earlier in this year, so it may have been with a prelude to an election. This may, that may not be the case now. So I would assume that the Liberal Party has a candidate in every riding. So if somebody, so to me, I'm kind of like, if somebody was going to cross the floor, they wouldn't be able to, but they could sit as an independent and vote their conscience rather than the party. The whip will tell them what to do. So yeah, it's pretty wild if that is true. I'm obviously so behind and will be using my break today to catch up and see what's going on. Yeah. Hello here. Yeah. Chloe, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah. Socialist budget next to, that's what we're getting to. And the clocks changed. Like, I don't mind when the clocks change because it's only a couple months, and I kind of I do quite enjoy like when the nights draw in. Do you know, like I like the cozy evenings at home. I don't really mind it that much. And then I know that by the time school goes back in January after the holidays, this is my son's final Christmas holidays of school out of school. It's sort of weird to think this is the last time we're going to be thinking about school holidays. Um he the once Christmas, sorry, once the holidays are done and we're in January, that's when we really notice that it's not dark at 5 o'clock anymore. It's dark at 5:30. So it really kind of happens quick for sure. But yeah, I feel like this week is just kind of tired. Tired. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong's so awesome. Yeah, voted one team, and yeah, I'd be pissed. I would be if I voted for a conservative MP and then they crossed the floor and became liberal. Oh, they better hope I don't know where they live. Absolutely. Okay, there we go. There's Nikki. Thank you so much. There's Maria. Thank you. There we go. And then yeah, so Nikki does have a link. She just doesn't have any content yet. So once she has content, you'll get it all. Get in there early. Be an OG. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm on Facebook. And who do we have there? Lola does diamond painting stuff. She's got a very cool diamond painting on the table right now. So you'll want to go check it out for sure. I think that's it right now, Sapper. I think that's it right now. And Lola's trying to get her watch hours and everything. So if you ever see her and you wouldn't mind, just throw her channel on in the background and she'll be able to get those watch hours up. If you can just, you know what I mean? She does like 6-hour lives. So just pop it on, turn the volume to 1%, go get on with your life, or watch and hang out and listen to her. Her Halloween one was amazing. You all have to go check out her hair. I was like, wow, this is a great look. And Chloe, where are you? Where are you based? That your conservatives are secret liberals. Somebody told me, a guy who's a hardcore conservative, like in the media world and everything, he told me that there are Canadian conservative MPs who hate the conservatives. And I'm like, what are you doing? Yes, Sapper. Make sure you get yourself out there too. Yes. Yeah, people lie. And then they get angry. Even though you don't say anything, they get angry. I don't know. But yeah, we all have to ask Sapper very nicely if he will bring his show back, his contest, his music contest back, because we miss them. We miss guessing the songs. Yes, that is true. Maria loves a good 5-hour live. We were talking about that earlier today. And I was like, I don't know how you sit there and listen to it all. But yeah, sometimes I pop my headphones on and then do laundry, clean my house, do everything while listening to everybody live. And I just don't take part in the chat sometimes. So yeah. The other thing that I kind of have on my brain, which is sort of weird. Is anybody worried about Usha? Anybody think about Usha right now? Is Usha on your brain? So Chloe's in the UK. Interesting. So is this like, are you talking about your Tory party? Are your Tories your conservative party? Because here we don't have, I don't think we have as many parties as you have over there. But so you have, what is Reform? Is Reform like on the conservative end of things, or are they like libertarian? so confused. Okay, so you're conservative, that's the Tory party. Okay, I've heard people don't like them. I've heard that people don't like them. All I know is you've got Labor, which is what's his name? Keir Starmer, two-tier Keir. And then you've got Nigel Farage, who is Reform, but I don't know anything about the Tories. I just know everybody wants Nigel Farage to be the prime minister. And I'm like, how do you get an election? Is it like America where it's like 4 years on the dot, that's it, no variations, nothing? Or is that can that be changed? Because we can have an election anytime here in Canada. They don't want to be singled out. So hold on. Reform are the new conservative. Are they more conservative than the Tories? We're getting an education here. It's all, listen, I don't care what we're talking about. We're going to talk politics at some point. Yeah. Yeah. UK politicians are woke and weak. Well, just like in Canada, our Liberal and NDP, like all they care about is unaliving babies. That's like their one election issue. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing. UK have no real choice other than Reform now. So okay. So Chloe, are they further right than the Tories? Who is this? Tice is a full-on blue Tory. Okay, I don't know who that is. All right, now you're talking about people I don't know, but we are going to talk about Usha. Did not have that on my bingo card. Yeah, Reform replaced them. There's rumors that yeah. Have you heard about this? Have y'all heard this? Okay, so what I saw last week, I was like a little meerkat. I literally went, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Now, I've had good relationships with the husbands and boyfriends of my friends. I have never touched their hair, let alone in public. That I don't know. I don't know what I believe about any of this anymore. All right, we're going to nip back to the UK. Tories, aka conservatives, got too woke. We need a reform type party. I'm not in full support of reform, long story, but they are. Yeah, see, I think that's where a lot of people are at, even in Canada. Okay, there's people who are like, I've never voted conservative in my life, but I can see this is the only way out of this mess, right? Absolutely, not, I don't think it's a secret. I like Donald Trump. Do I think he's perfect? No. Do I think he's made some mistakes? Yeah, the Epstein situation was handled so poorly that there's no recovering from it, right? So it's definitely, see, we're playing the sunlight game now. So yeah. One of my friends told me that she doesn't want to talk politics with me. And I said, why? And she said, well, because you're going to get upset. And I'm like, what am I going to get upset about? She's like, well, a scandal. And I was like, well, listen, I'm not so committed to any one politician that I would brush off a scandal, right? Like I like right now, my MPP is in a scandal. And I like him. I've known him a long time. I've voted for him several times. But I'm not going to overlook the fact that he's in a scandal and it doesn't look good, right? So, yeah. It's so here's Chloe asking, who's Usha? Usha is JD Vance's wife. So let's go back to that story. Well, I'll toggle between both stories as we go along. So Usha is married to JD. Both of them went to Utah to collect Charlie Kirk's body and bring it back on Air Force One or Trump Airlines. I can't remember which plane was sent out there. And they've been like this huge support for Erica Kirk, took care of everything, been to everything. They're, really just propping her up and helping her. But then you see, I like JD Vance too. This Jamil that I keep talking about, he's the MP in the riding next to me. He's JD Vance's best friend. They went to Harvard together. Yeah. They were roommates at Harvard. And he went to the inauguration. When he came back, we're all like, so what happened? Right? So, like, I understand that JD Vance and Charlie Kirk were good friends, and that Usha and JD have, stepped up to help her, take care of everything that needed to be done. And then there was it a Turning Point event last week? I think it was. Was it I can't remember. And Erica Kirk, who is now the CEO of Turning Point, she was on stage and she said, like how amazing her husband is, how much she loved her husband, blah, 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 blah. And that no one could ever compare to him. But then she says, but JD Vance comes really close. And I was like, that's a very interesting thing to say when your husband hasn't even been dead 2 months. Like, I just, in a very dramatic fashion. I mean, he was assassinated in front of the whole world. And I thought, what a very, very interesting thing to say. And so he comes on stage, and now people are always talking about how she dresses and everything else. And I'm not a big fan of criticizing people when they're mourning, when they're in grief. Everybody grieves whatever way they have to. I would never judge a woman for getting on with it, because sometimes as women, we don't have a choice. When I worked in funeral service and now as a minister, I've helped many widows bury their husbands. And these women don't have a choice. They can't just take to their bed and grieve for a year. They have to just get on with it. They have to pay the bills. They have to raise the children if there's children still need to be brought up. Like, there's all kinds of things, and you just have to get on with it. And one of her things is that she's the CEO of Turning Point USA now. And so she's got a job to do. She's committed to carrying on Charlie Kirk's mission. So she's on stage. She's a pageant queen. Like, the people are criticizing her hair. Why is her hair done? She's meant to be mourning. Why is she wearing these clothes? She's meant to be mourning. So I think that's just like people looking for things to judge. But I think we all agree that maybe running her hands through JD Vance's hair when he came out on stage was not the greatest optics, shall we say. It caught a lot of attention. It caught a lot of people's attention, including mine. I was like, what? This, like I said, I've had great relationships with lots of men, whether they've been men I've worked with, men that I've been friends with, partners of my girlfriends, people like that. I've never touched their hair. And I'm not saying that I'm better or anything like that. It just seems like that's what caught my attention, is I'm like, that looks like afterglow. Yeah. 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 Mourning does not mean you can't function. And yeah, sometimes you do. Like, sometimes you got to put the makeup on, do your hair, and get out there and take care of business. Like, especially as women, we have to keep everything together for everyone. So we can't always just succumb to it. Oh, I don't know if that's it. But so the question really is, should we be worried about Usha? Because it looks like they're testing the waters. Now, I love a good conspiracy theory. Um, and it really becomes clear that a lot of these people are actors and they're being put into roles. And so when that character is no longer useful, or it's run its course, or it's completed its mission, that actor is killed off and then put in another role. We see it all the time. It's not just on TV shows. We see it all the time. Anybody at this point now who doesn't see this sort of thing is intentionally not seeing it. I saw one recently, a video. It was a guy who talks about exactly this kind of thing. And he was showing how it's very likely that Jason Bateman is Javier Milei now, and all the reasons why. And when you kind of put them face to face together, it's like, oh, I can kind of see it. I can see it. So, there's always the question of, is Charlie Kirk actually dead? I don't know. We're told he is. We're told he is. I always leave room for all kinds of things to go on. And so can I sit here and 100% say that Charlie Kirk is dead? No, because I don't know. I don't know. I know what we're told. I know what many people saw. What's interesting is that my son has seen the video with the blood. I have not. I haven't been able to find that video. Why is it some people saw one video and other people saw another video? I think that's a really interesting question. And because I love a good conspiracy, this is like, I just love exploring the ideas around all these things. So if they've just recast, yeah, I don't think he's dead either. No, he was too valuable to them. I don't think he's dead either. So if Charlie has simply been recast, he may be taking some time off. It does stand to reason. So if we're going to go down these lines, then JD and Usha are also cast in these roles. How many times have we heard Donald Trump refer to central casting? I think that's kind of interesting because, like, why would he even think that? Why would that be something that he comes up with? And of course, we're told all kinds of things ahead of time through code and predictive programming and things like that. So now I'm starting to wonder, is this Erica Kirk, JD Vance moment the testing ground for how the American public would receive them if he ran for president for 2028? Would he be running for president? Yes, he would be running. The election will be in 2028. So he would be running. And so the theory is, the things that people are saying is that the American public will never accept JD as president with Usha. But they would love JD as president with Erica. Not as vice president or anything, but as like the first lady. Because when you're in America, we don't have this in Canada, but like in America, you're not just electing the president, it's like you get a first lady as well. And so tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments have you heard about this? What do you think? Like, did it catch your attention? Do you think maybe there's something up? Are they going to recast Usha? Is there going to be a tragic moment and she is recast? The widower president? I don't know. It could be nothing. It could be nothing. It could just be an awkward, stupid moment that got captured and we've all taken it and run with it, Huh. Well, I haven't heard that, but yeah, he's got to go somewhere now. He's a private citizen now. And is there any word on Harry and Meghan having the same thing happen? Are they going to take their titles as well? Because they're not working royals, and they're how many scandals do they need to be involved in before the king is going to say, yeah, we're going to put some distance. Yes, hit the like button, please. Give it a little tickle. Thank you. So they're thinking this is a dream team. Yeah, like this is kind of what is sort of the slant, is that JD would get elected a lot easier for president with Erica than he will with Usha. So they need to get Usha out of the way, put Erica in. They've already gotten rid of her husband. See, the reason why I'm questioning this whole Charlie Kirk thing, and let's face it, I'm just talking out of my backside here, okay? This is just for entertainment purposes and just the things that I ponder, all right? So nobody come for me. But the thing that I think about Charlie Kirk is it was all just so convenient. Like it all worked out exactly the way they needed it to work out. Like if you needed an uprising of Christians to defend the right, yeah, that was your moment. Mission accomplished. Even, and it's around the world. Like Canada has Turning Point chapters popping up all the time now. And that it literally, Charlie Kirk's assassination became a revival. And so that worked out really well for the MAGA people, for Republicans, for conservatives, like whatever level you're at on the right, that worked out really well for you in terms of getting attention and people speaking and people rising up. Like I know the churches are full now, so yeah, if you need conservative voters, yeah, have a lefty kill one of them, like that's kind of how it went. Plus the whole story with the shooter, I don't think that's who is behind all of it. I don't think so. But then they were like, oh, it has to be someone who's trans. And then, oh, no. Oh, no, but his boyfriend is, right? You see, like it's all just too convenient. It just feels scripted to me. It could be perfectly real. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for me now, I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure. I think it worked out really well. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that Donald Trump was going to get rid of Harry, wasn't he? But then nobody wanted him, so I guess, yeah. Sandringham, he has a home in the Middle East. So Abu Dhabi, was that right? Did I get that right? And then Sandringham, does he own? Oh, privately. I don't know. Because isn't the house he was living in funded by the king as well? I don't know. Turning Point got a foothold here too. Yeah. And it's getting bigger. Like I'm seeing it every day. It's getting bigger and bigger, that people are really seeing it as, I think, a way out of all of this. I think Erica looks better with JD Vance than you. She hasn't stopped smiling. That's for sure. That's, yeah, she hasn't stopped smiling. Now, she's a performer. She's a stage star, right? Like wasn't she an actress? She was like Miss America or Miss USA or some such thing. But here's the thing. Whatever the pageant thingy was, Donald Trump owned that pageant. That was his gig. And so she's been connected to Donald Trump for longer than I think she knew Charlie Kirk. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Hobo House is safe for now. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know, but I keep hearing a divorce on the horizon. I think that they've consciously uncoupled a long time ago, but they know they've got to keep the grift going. Sandringham is privately owned. There was about to be an oh, is that maybe that's why the king made his move, was because he didn't want anything investigated. Yeah, that could be why. Canada's very split in half. Yes. Which is why nobody wants an election right now, because it could go either way. There won't be a landslide, and it'll be too close for comfort. And right now the Liberal government is 3 votes away from a majority, so they're, I know they want that majority, but mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah, Montreal is very liberal. Yeah, but I see that they've banned, did they not ban public prayer in, was it in all of Quebec, or was it just Montreal, or um and I saw that there was uh protesters, like anti-protesters, sort of saying we need to like ban all public prayer everywhere. Like, go pray in your house of worship, which I totally agree with. Um if you're blocking the streets to pray, you got to get on the sidewalk at least. Yeah. It's I think a lot of people have seen a lot of things for a long time, but nobody really, like, nobody took it seriously. No one believed it. But it's like, yeah, like, this is not a good scene at all. This is not a good scene at all. The just, like American royalty, like the Clintons and that kind of thing, like, not, the way that they're like the elites of, America. I think they're very similar. Absolutely. I think they're very, very similar. They make their inconveniences go away. I think there's been a lot of craziness. There was, wasn't it the video or the pictures of a little boy climbing out the window of the palace? That was a little damning, wasn't it? Yeah. Not sure about Canada, but the left, yes, the left here are, I always say that Canada is an open air mental asylum. We are in a mental health crisis. I actually talked about this a few weeks back. A psychotherapist, I believe is his title. He was sharing his observations and research on people who are trans and the connection to autism. And when I heard that, it kind of like cracked open something in my brain, because I started to see it everywhere. It was like, oh, this thing that we can't identify, but we know it's there. What is it? It's there's a lot of undiagnosed autism, I think, at various degrees. As we know, it's a spectrum. But when I look at the people on the left having these absolute meltdown tantrums, now I see it as autistic meltdown, and it starts to, it's hard to have compassion for people who want you dead for simply having a different opinion. But at the same time, now that I see it, and kind of like it clicked for me what I've been observing, I'm like, I think really it's not a mental health crisis. It is an autism crisis becoming a mental health crisis, if that makes sense. And if you go back, I can't remember what day we talked about it. It would be like maybe 3 weeks ago. I do one live a week, so it would just be 3 lives back maybe, where I talked about all of this, because it was this psychotherapist who realized in his practice more than a quarter of his trans patients regret doing the whole trans thing. And then I can't remember who it was that was here that day when we were talking about it, said, that's just the people that said it. And I was like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because probably there's another 25% of his practice who aren't telling him that they regret it. And which is why the psychotherapy is such an important part of the process. But when he was talking about the experience, it kind of opened my eyes to what we're seeing when we have people just melting down everywhere. it's probably undiagnosed autism, because he did say, the psychotherapist did say, that within his patients who regret their transition, that what he realized, and he was started to diagnose them and say, you know what, you just have autism. And it's that wanting to, knowing you're different but not knowing why and where you fit in. So, and then they get hyper fixated on the trans thing. It was really interesting. Anyway, go back a few weeks and you'll find that conversation. It was pretty interesting. I don't know how we got on that. Oh, the left being divisive. Yeah, it's bad here. It's really, really bad here. King Charles sits back and does nothing. Yeah, like, yeah, maybe he's in his garden or something. I don't know. Oh, don't get there. Yes. Well, it's yeah, like my son is on the spectrum as well, mildly on the spectrum, and yeah, like his brain is fascinating. And but yeah, the trans propaganda is huge, and I think it's becoming quite predatory. Is that the right word? Because they know that there's this, now that I've seen it, I'm like, I think they know there's this group of people that they can sway and influence, and this group of people will hyperfixate and really go down that path. So that's yeah, it's but yeah, the propaganda is massive here in Canada. I believe it is still illegal to try to convince somebody not to do the surgeries and everything else. I think there's a father somewhere out west who is maybe went to jail for that. I can't remember. I'll have to find the whole story. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think it's become very predatory. And we can go back to, the victim becomes the predator, right? The perpetrator. Like it's a big cycle that goes around and around and around. We got deep there. We got deep. We were talking about Erica Kirk. And then we went to this. So yeah, banned public prayers. Okay, yeah. I wonder if the reason the king made his move is because of the recent events in the UK, Met reopening. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not going to look good. There's more conservatives in the last municipal elections. Definitely, it's sad. Something must be happening. Yeah. So where Nikki lives, they have actually like political affiliations at a municipal level. Where I live, we don't, which is kind of interesting. Yes, I remember that chat. It was good. Yeah, it was really, really interesting. I'm so glad we did that little deep dive on that, because it was fascinating, and I hope that it opened people's eyes so that when we see things, we're like, oh, I see what's talking about, and it's not what I thought. I think that's that he opened my mind to something I had never considered, about the connection between trans and autism, and now I feel like I almost have more compassion now, because it's like, yeah, this is not what we thought it was. This is something different, and we need to help people. Unfortunately, it's illegal, but whatever. Well, Sapper, yeah, but you could double your wardrobe. I don't know. There we go. Aspie, how are you? Aspie, not the crazy lady. Aspie. That was so funny. All last night, we're like, that's not Aspie. Aspie was mistaken for somebody else last night. And we're like, no, it's not Aspie. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is, so Chloe's saying it's very worrying, that her daughter is not falling down that hole, that trap, which is good. It's yeah, I think that there are definitely segments of the population within the autism spectrum who could so easily be captured by this idea and run with it 110%. And yeah, and it's no judgment on anybody. Like, this is just a conversation. It's no judgment. I know trans people. I know people with autism. Like I said, my son is on the spectrum, and And so it's sort of, but it's just been an interesting thing to think about and observe and kind of say, now I'm seeing it from a whole different perspective. And that's changing my response to it, which was a big conversation we had earlier on the Celestine Prophecy call today. So yeah, universities are, I think I want to get my son in an online university. Baby grandma, hello, hello. Okay, all the people coming in now, please hit like, thank you. And if you have a channel, Sapper's here. We gave him a wrench so he can give me a hand today, dropping some links. So if you have content on your channel, or you just want people to be able to connect with you, let Sapper know and he will get your link dropped for us. Thank you so much, Sapper. Yeah, it's not a lot of younger kids going in this direction. Yeah, they're being really influenced. Virtue signaling. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's pumped into the schools. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And now I've got this, like, I don't know how long this video is to watch. 3.5 hours. Yeah, 3.5 hour video to watch about what happened this morning. So that'll be on my late tonight listening schedule. Yeah. But could you believe what, but you, okay. So just to speak about the crazy lady for a moment, because here's Aspie saying that was, yeah, she felt so bad, but I think she was she hit the bong a little hard. Yeah. I could see why she was getting confused, but we're all like, it's not Aspie. The woman was missing in 2008, reported missing. And I was Googling her name to just be like, who is this woman? And I found a Facebook post from this year, 2025, missing, that she's been missing all these years. And I was almost going to comment and say, just go to whoever's channel, just go to Flop's channel and you'll find her. Like, she wasn't that hard to find. But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, Michelle was very, very apologetic. Yeah, she was just like, how could I get this so wrong? I know I was sitting there thinking to myself, I should just sit there on her panel and just to fix things. I was like, put me up on your panel so that I can fill in the words for you and be like, nope, wasn't Aspie. Was not Aspie. So yeah, if you want to get your link dropped in the chat, please comment 1 and then Sapper will grab it for you and pop it in for us. He's helping me as being a mod today because I was like, it's too much. I can't do it all myself. Have an ex-liberal city mayor being elected liberal. Yeah, it's all crazy. You're at 1.5. I'm about 10 minutes in. And it's already a little bonkers on that video. So yeah. On double speed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, but working about has me more aware of people's, yeah. So Aspie's saying that she's high functioning autism and works in the public. So Aspie obviously is a nurse. Do you find that your autism makes you better at being a nurse in terms of noticing things, pattern recognition, stuff like that? Does that come into play? But yeah, and yeah, I think that's the thing is people that I know, and I see it in my son. He's very highly functioning, very accomplished musician, does really well in school, has a great group of friends. I call him my little weirdo. He loves it. I've always called him my little weirdo. Because if anybody knows anything about human design, he's a manifester, and manifestors are little weirdos. And my son fully fits into that. But he takes things sometimes very literally. There's no nuance sometimes with him. Even though he has a fantastic sense of humor, he's very funny. There's times when it's very black and white for him. And not all the time, but certainly he remembers things that I'm like, was I there? I don't remember saying that, but okay. His memory and that that attention to detail I find really fascinating in him. So yeah, we're all over the map. Okay, let's not forget about Erica Kirk and Usha. Okay, we need to pay attention to that story as well. Keep your eyes peeled this week because this is going to be an ongoing topic, I think. Yeah, yeah, grants. Yeah. Yes, I believe there is too. I believe that one of the reasons that we have an infertility issue in the world is because of all the women taking birth control and then it gets flushed down the toilet. Any drugs in your system go down the toilet. Any so I'm going to let you in on the secrets of the funeral world. When we embalm someone, their bodily fluids go down the drain into the normal sewer system. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. Imagine you've got somebody who's just loaded with drugs, loaded with morphine, chemotherapy, drug, anything like that. That's now in your water supply. So yeah, and enough of it, it starts to be noticeable, and we start to see these issues in our communities. Yeah, no problem, Jim. You came back. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Oh, baby grandma, you're on the spectrum too. Now tell me about your experience. Like, did it make you better at nursing? All the nurses are here. Oh, do we have 3 nurses here right now? Goodness, you're all going to start taking our temperatures and blood pressures. Highly intuitive. Yeah. So you probably pick up on things that somebody who's not on the spectrum might not pick up on in tone or in pattern, or like those little details, like in that movie Legally Blonde, the thing that won the case was you don't wash your hair after a perm. Like who would think about that? Memory like a steel trap. Yeah, my son is like that. He can remember, and he's so observant. Like we went to see a few years ago, we saw a play called the Drowsy Chaperone, and it's a play within a play. So it starts off with the chaperone sitting in his chair and he dozes off, and then the play takes place. And so he's talking about his experience, and then he dozes off and the play starts, which is a whole other set of people and time and everything else. And so it's a play within a play. And a few months later, we took my son to see Midsummer Night's Dream at this beautiful building. It's like I don't know how old it is, probably 100 years old, if not more, in the suburbs of Toronto. And it looks like a castle, basically. And it was in the gardens. And it was just an amazing, incredible evening. And it was Midsummer Night's Dream. So we get in the car at the end, driving home, and I said to my son, "What did you think of the play?" And he said, "I really liked it. It reminded me of The Drowsy Chaperone." And I was like, what are you talking about? And so I sat there for a minute trying to like, where is he going with this? This is his mind. Where is he going with this? And I said, tell me more about that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, well, it's a play within a play. So that's the detail that he picked up, was that it's a play within a play, which I didn't even make that connection. Even though I knew that both shows were a play within a play, I didn't connect them. That to me is like how the mind, a mind of somebody with autism might work, like in that, making these connections between things that nobody else is thinking about. Cocaine raids. Yeah. Flushing all your drugs down the toilet. That's not going to help the system at all. Yeah. Elon Musk, definitely. And he's had such a hard life. I know he's like a bajillionaire now, but I don't think that his early life was very easy. And I think that really affects how he sees the world, like that sort of autism and the way he was raised and the violence and everything else he experienced living in South Africa and places like that. I'm dreading that is this the communist guy? Okay, so Aspie saying, I'm dreading that this clown and buffoon may be elected in New York City tonight. I'm very good with the medical facts and details, but sometimes it's a bit difficult deciphering nonverbal cues. So the social cues. Interesting. I guess that maybe that's just something that just takes practice. Or just, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know, because I'm a big verbal cue person. I was raised in a lot of violence and trauma and dysfunction, so I'm a hardcore empath. Empaths are not magical creatures. We've survived childhood trauma and probably at the hands of a narcissist. And so we learn to read a room really fast and pick up on the energies, the shifts, everything. And so for me, the nonverbal cues are really strong for me, but like facts and details, like listen to me talk. I'm like, listen, I don't know all the details. I'm just making things up here. Right. So that's what I'm like, I'll just fill in the blanks on the parts I can't remember. But yeah, so is your election tonight, I guess, your New York City election. Oh, praying for you hard. Cause yeah, didn't didn't Donald Trump just make a post or something about like don't vote for this guy? But New Yorkers, I don't know. I find that in the cities like Toronto tends to elect the prime minister, and Toronto's like severely woke. We've got, oh, I don't even go to Toronto. I can't remember the last time went to Toronto, and at this point I have no desire. No desire. Nurse Shark. Notice things most people don't, especially yeah. So this is the thing, is like I love that your mind, your brain, your neurodivergent brain is actually helping society, helping your community, that the spotting the things that nobody's looking for, that attention to detail. I love that. And this is why I wish that people right now who are being captured in this really, really awful movement, I I wish we could get them real help. I wish we could really help them and not go to jail for actually really trying to help people get on a path that feels right and will get them to a successful life. Yeah, Canada's a whole situation. Yeah, the grants are going to all these things. Must be traitors. Yeah, traitors. And Musk has a. Oh, you know what? I heard about that. I heard about that. Thank you for reminding me. Now, I've heard this, I've read about this. We're gonna have to look into that too. Elon Musk. I'm just gonna write that down for next week. Elon trans child. So that we've got some facts and details here. Empath. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, that's the thing. When people tell me they're an empath, and I am like, I am so sorry for what you've been put through that got you there. So yeah. Is that the Muslim? I don't know. Aspie, is he a Muslim? Not that it really truly matters in the grand scheme of things. We're just in this weird movement right now of um this Islamist movement. Not all Muslim people are bad. We know that 100 million%, but it's the ideologies, it's the movement, it's the politics of it that is really causes a lot of harm. Narcs suffer at the hands of empaths, or do you mean empaths suffer at the hands of narcs? Because yeah, when an empath is done, look out. Look out. Aspie saying Trump has threatened to withhold funding. Well, yeah. That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be kind of interesting because he's done that with, there was a governor or somebody, a senator. No, it must have been a governor. He was in a meeting and the governor was like, yeah, I'm not going by whatever you say. I'll do whatever I want in my state. And he said, I'll see you in court. And she's like, I'll see you in court. Might have been Vermont. One of the northeastern states. Many of the kids are confused and the parents encourage them to be whoever they want to be. How about giving them the truth and not pandering to the shiz they're given from schools? Well, I think that the parents are all in on this because, most of these families that they have like 14 trans children, their mother will say that they're not religious. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to say you are. I'm going to say you're very religious. I'm going to say a lot of people don't realize that they make things their religion. There's a reason why during lockdowns and everything else, we called some people branch COVIDians because they made it their religion. So, okay, yeah, I don't think his religion has anything to do with his politics. I think just his politics, and it will. That will be the end of NYC. That will be like, look at Toronto. We've got the same thing. Our mayor in Toronto, oh my gosh. Whew. And her husband, Jack Layton, he was the leader of the NDP party, which is the Socialist Party. He died 15, 20 years ago. I can't remember. And he was not at all. I keep saying he'd be turning in his grave right now, spinning in his grave right now if he saw what his wife has done to Toronto. Because it's, again, so it's woke. It's full of encampments, like homeless encampments, drugs. They give out free branded City of Toronto drugs to people at the, like, safe supply. Yeah. Yeah. Just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. So yeah, it's all of these big cities are just turning awful. I know London, is that Sadiq Khan is your mayor? And even like Donald Trump is like, worst mayor on the entire planet in the history of the world. Yeah. Yeah. Green extra. And I don't get, like, it's a grift. We all understand the whole green thing is a grift, right? It's making people fear that the earth is falling, it's going to die, everything's going to blow up, and blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, it's like, my favorite thing is like Ellis Island. Why can we still see Ellis Island if the sea levels are rising so dramatically that they're going to consume the country? Plymouth Rock is underwater. Like, it's not underwater, it's like in the water. It's in like a cage on the shore. You can see it. It's still there. The water levels are not rising, but why do people believe it? Just because the box on the wall told them? Like, I don't understand that. Like, a tiny Google search can debunk everything. Yeah, we need more trees. Yes. There are countries that definitely need more trees. One of the reasons why I would be just so unhappy to leave Canada, even though I do think at some point I will have to, is the trees. Canada has more trees than anywhere in the world, I think. Canada offsets its own carbon from our trees, as well as some excess carbon from other countries as well. And yet we're being carbon taxed to death. People are losing everything because of carbon taxes. And we've got Mark Carney, the biggest green grifter in the history of the universe, telling us that the sky is falling and that we need to invest in green, blah, 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 blah. And isn't it convenient that all of his companies are green? Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. There we go. Oh, you're going to London. Yay, so fun. And Aspie, was it you who was saying that you're going down south as well? BBC's been called out lying about yeah. Oh, yes, please, Jim. Yes, please. Send me a DM on that, please. I want to see that. I think I quickly saw something earlier today, but didn't have time to catch it. Oh, what are we talking about here? Ooh, what do we know? What do we know? Oh, you're just going to London. Somebody told me they were going down south, and now I can't remember who it was. Just London. I've been to London a number of times. It's kind of a neat place. Though I'd be kind of just make sure you know what, Aspie, I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice here. Mommy is talking. Auntie Avril's on the case. You want to get like a theft proof bag. I keep seeing them online for like your purse, like your wallet, and your phone and whatnot. Let me see if the ad, I'm just doing a quick little scroll because I've seen the ad for these bags like every hour. And you know what, Aspie, if I don't see it quickly now, then I'll keep an eye out for it, and then I'll pop it on my community page and see if I can tag you. Okay, I don't see it there, but there's these bags. They're not expensive, but they're like cut proof, and they've got like a slim profile, so you could put it on, put your phone, your wallet, and everything, and then put your coat on, and you'd be good. You'd be good. Yeah, I just keep hearing about the phones. People are getting their phones stolen all the time. Yeah, I need a new movement in Canada. Ben Mulrooney, yeah, he would be a great one. But let's see what Pierre can do. I'm hoping to go to the convention in a few months. I'll find out next week if I'm going or not. Back to chat. No problem, Maria. Con sucks as a mayor. Need them out boats. Oh yeah, the boats. Yeah, see, that's what they're doing is they're trying to bring in the digital ID, and I don't know where they're at with it, but the digital ID, they're like, oh no, it's to make sure that only UK citizens get jobs. And it's like, okay, well, but you're still letting these people in the country. You're still letting the boats wash up on shore. Like, come on. Yeah. And just be street smart. Yeah. Like, you live in New York, you get it. But I would just say, the worst thing to happen would be you get your phone stolen or something while you're on holidays. Do you know what I'm saying? London is your home. What part of London, ding dong? I've been kind of all over London. And London at Christmas used to be such a magical thing. I don't know if it still is, but like Oxford Street at Christmas. Oh, so nice. So nice. Oh, good. You've got the theft. Okay, I'm going to show you the link. When I see it, I'm gonna grab the link. I'll make sure I save the link for you, because this looks like a really good one, and I kind of want to get it for myself. And it comes in lots of colors. Just keep something pointy in your bum bag. We call them fanny packs here, which my Scottish relatives are like, oh, you can't say that word. Yeah. Are you inside or outside of the city? Yeah, let's find out where Ding Dong lives. Over a million, and the UK is a little tiny for a million extra people. Don't wear headphones in London. Yes, be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you can hear, you're observant. Use all your observation skills to notice dangers. There we go. See, this is where it all benefits people. There we go. Oh, Nightbot. Okay, I did not program that, but Nightbot doesn't like the chats, but that's okay. Or doesn't like the capitals. That's okay. It's all good. Don't worry. You're good. You're fine. You can shout all you want. I'm not worried about volume or tone. You're born by the river. Very nice. I've walked down that river, and in Paris too. And I've walked down a lot of rivers actually. Been to London a few times for the royal sites and the palaces. I remember when I went to Westminster, and then there's a part like kind of around the back, like there's a courtyard, and then there's all these steps, and these steps are from like the 12th or 13th century, and they're like stone, and they're not flat. They're like, there's like a groove from all the hundreds of years of people, monks and priests and whoever else walking up and down these steps. And I think that's the thing that that struck me the most when I was there, was that I'm walking in the same footpath that people have walked on for hundreds and hundreds of years. And, the history that has taken place there, I thought it was like, wow, that was just kind of neat. It really struck me to think, wow, that's really neat. Really neat. And yeah, don't worry. Nightbot's, he's a lot. Okay. He's a good bouncer, but he's a lot. I wish I could give him a name. I want to give him a different name. Yeah, I wish I could I'm going to have to find out. Can I rename my Nightbot and give him a cheeky little name? Yeah. Nightbot. Simmer down. Shame Megan didn't appreciate the history that she had access to. The key to every door in the world, the money, the lifestyle, the photos, the events, everything. She traded it for some backyard chickens and jam jars. Really? No. They were sent to America to disrupt and cause problems. And I thought that before TRG said it. And when she said it, I was like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it was way, yeah, just they were there to be disruptive. My grandparents were too, love doing the oh, nice. Family trees are fun. What's your opinion and the view? I think they're both my opinion of William and Catherine. Okay, I like both of them. I kind of do. I'm not a royalist. I'm not even though I am a British subject and I guess I would technically have to curtsy. Um I I'm not really big on the royal family. I think it's like a fun institution to kind of watch and it's very aspirational like when you see their outfits and of course I'm going to watch a royal wedding and all that kind of stuff. But um it's a gong show right now. I think that those two William and Catherine are doing really well. I think they are treading these waters in a very calm way. I think that, as I've said to a number of people, sometimes the best thing you can do is say nothing and just get on with your job. And just, I know the royal family motto is never complain, never explain. But I think that they're doing a really great job of just getting on with it. And I think that when William is king, my prediction is that will be next summer of 2026. My prediction is William will be king. I'm always open to being wrong, but that's when I ask these questions, that's what I get is summer 2026. He will be king. And you can figure all that out. But I think it will be a very different monarchy. I think it will be all of the problems will be gone. I don't think that they will tolerate anything that makes the royal family look bad. And I think it will be a much smaller royal family. I think it will be William and Catherine and Edward and Sophie. And then maybe a few more. I just don't see them having a big working family at all. I think they will go very internal and only deal with people they know they can 100% trust, regardless of their titles or bloodline. That's my thoughts on that. Woo! There we go. There we go. Would sell a kidney to get into the yeah, right? That's some real Da Vinci Code stuff there, I'm sure. Yeah, both. Wow, what did they do? That's so exciting. That's kind of exciting. I bet they've got some stories. Well, I bet they had some stories. Yeah. Coronation and yeah. I don't think King Charles will be here at this time next year. He's got cancer, he's dying. It's how it is. It's how it goes. I know that he is like WEF adjacent, that William is WEF adjacent. I'm not sure, like, is he that deep into it the way his father is? I'm not sure. If he is, then that's a problem. But I just always kind of felt like he was more on the periphery just to kind of walk a middle line with society. Monarchies evolve as they should. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think they're so unnecessary at this point that they're kind of, the decoration on top of the wedding cake, really. Like, go cut the ribbons, shake the hands, wave to the tourists. You know what I mean? Great. Do your job. That's great. And, but I think that they need to get out of politics. Absolutely. The royal family has no business in politics at all. Wow, that's soon. Yeah. Yeah, we don't, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want King Charles to, not be king, but there's only kind of one way out, right? And but I mean, he's not healthy. Like, he's sick, he's dying. And I think he's doing a great job of navigating all of this. I mean, like his health and his work. And I think, he's putting on a good face, and he's out there doing the things, doing his job. But I think things will go downhill fast. That's what I'm receiving. And that could change, because any predictions, any tarot reading, anything like that is the energy of the moment. It's not a permanent thing. Like, just because I say this today doesn't mean it's permanent. What if in January there's a miracle cancer cure and they give it to him and that changes everything? That would be a perfectly reasonable thing to expect, right? So we'll just wait and see. But I think if things are on the trajectory that they're on, it will be Queen Catherine hosting her 2026 Christmas concert, which is a lovely concert too, by the way. I think she does a phenomenal job at it. Of course, thank you. I love good questions like that. It was a great question, actually. We've been everywhere today. We have talked about everything, took no breaks at all. And I love that you've all brought these interesting topics to the chat. Thank you, everyone. This has been a lot of fun. The 90 minutes have flown by. Ding Dong is saying that her grandmother was a seamstress and was the model for some of Queen Alexandra's dresses. And her great-grandfather, so this would be your grandmother, the seamstress, her father worked as a night watchman. Well, that's interesting. Do they keep records of all the staff? Like, are they part of the historical record of Buckingham Palace? Because I think that would be kind of neat. What you're saying about Twitter, yeah, it's just coming. It was, I think it was last year I started receiving this March 2026, March 2020. And so who knows? He may step down if it gets too bad. I just don't see it. He waited so long for that crown that I think he'll be wearing it on his deathbed, really. Which, we don't, this is like, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a friend, he's, all the things that, even though we don't agree with his politics necessarily, he's still a human being. He's still a man. He still has a family. He's got grandchildren. He's got his two sons that no matter what, they're still his two sons. And it'll be sad. It would be considered a life cut short, absolutely. But I think we're on the downward trajectory now. Tiny waist. Oh yeah. Okay. I really don't know much about Queen Alexandra, but she must have had a little teensy waist, and so must your grandmother. That's kind of neat, right? That's like a very cool family history. A neat story to tell. My grandmother was born in 1900 and has told me so much about life at the palace. She lived to the age of 101. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, he's saying we just committed treason by discussing the king's demise. Well, call MI5. Yeah, call MI5. It's not the FBI you want from me. It's the RCMP. Okay. Yeah. But it's just, I'm not, listen, every life will come to an end. And to say that discussing his death is treason, there is a plan. The Queen Elizabeth, her death plan was London Bridge. Prince Philip, his was Forth Bridge. All of their death plans are named after bridges. The Forth Bridge is in Edinburgh, which he was the Duke of Edinburgh. You see how that works? Ding, ding, ding. Right? So yeah, people are talking about it before I did. Yeah. You have an ancestor who fled to America because he was going to be executed by the king. What did he do? Baby grandma. Wow. All of you have got these like wild family histories. Yeah. See? I don't even know who the director of the RCMP is. It doesn't matter. It's not Kash Patel. It's not Dan Bongino. No idea. You have to send MI5 for me or something. I don't know. Send James Bond for me. And I'd like the champagne flight. Thank you. Yeah, right? That's kind of wild. We did not expect that. A bridge to Jim. Jim's always here. Jim just sits here quietly and then comes out with the little one-liners every once in a while. So we always have some fun. Always have some fun. Ooh, we have so much stories for a podcast. Yes. Yeah. I could make like a whole, actually, I do have another, I have a bunch of other channels, all different topics. But yeah, maybe I'll get you to come on and talk about all these stories on one of my other channels. Yeah. That's a claim to fame. Absolutely. I know. Jim's so funny. He cracks me up. And he's lovely. He's a lovely man. Absolutely. And funny. He was one of the king's right hand men. I'd be like, ooh. Ho, ho, ho. What did they call that? Regicide? Is that what it's called? Regicide. That was when you kill a king? It's regicide? We're not going to do that. Natural causes. Natural causes. It's going to be earlier than what most people might think it might be. Well, yeah, I'd say you got to flee when you start doing that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Goodness gracious. Well, it's 5:11 p.m. here. The sun is going down. I am solely on ring light here right now. And shocked and appalled. So I am going to thank all of you for hanging out with me today. I have loved this. Before I leave, don't forget my Yule call is going to get launched soon. Jim is saying that he sent me the link. Thank you so much. The link for BBC apologizing. So my Yule call, it will be in December, but I'm going to launch it probably next week sometime. If you are on my mailing list, my VIP list, let me just see if I still have the link there. Here we go. I'm going to drop the VIP link right now. You will be the first to get the link to sign up for my Yule call. It is a beautiful, beautiful celebration. There's all kinds of different elements. There's gifts. There's all kinds of things that go on it. And if you are on my mailing list, you'll be the first to get the sign up link and you will get the best price for it. So hop on there, sign up for that. At the most, I usually send one email a week, but if you're in different parts of my world, if you're in a workshop or if you're in a reading group or something, you may get more than one email a week, but the average person gets one email a week. And then you will get the link for the Zoom, for the Yule Zoom section. It's a beautiful, magical thing. You definitely want to. And if we have a lot of people overseas, we'll do a 2-session thing again, like I did with my Samhain meditation. I offered it in the afternoon, but then offered it in the evening for North American people. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so don't forget about that. Better get the Yule log on. Yeah, I should make a Yule log this year. That would be kind of neat. Decorate it all up and have it ready to go. Oh, Chloe, thank you. I think, were you on there before, I think? I can't remember. But thank you. A nice chocolate Yule log. We used to get these cakes that were Yule log. They were so good. So, so good. Vachon Yule logs. Good. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It's now coming up on 5:15. I have to get to a meeting now. I have to put my coat on and go out in the cold, dark night and go to a meeting. So that'll be fun. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Ding dong, you're already on my list. Wonderful. Thank you. And what's Maria saying? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw you on there already today. Yeah, this has been a great conversation. Didn't even do a sprint. Way too much to talk about today. We're going to keep our eyes on Erica Kirk and JD Vance. We are going to come back with another session at some point on the difference between soulmates and twin flames as well. So we got lots of stuff coming up. Thank you so much for helping me out today, Sapper. That was awesome for getting those links out there. Have a good sleep. Oh, yeah. Super chats. Night, night. Thank you so much, everybody. You're amazing. You're the best. Thank you. Have a great evening. Bye.